Good morning, community. Hop on here as close to the time as I usually had been hopping on here. Oh boy, it has been a week for me. How has it been for you? The next day, that Friday or Saturday, stubbed my big toe. It's kind of hidden under one of my chairs. I get the chair, hit my toe. Didn't think it was anything much. The next day or day later, my toe is swollen. It's blue, it's purple, it's tender. Only to find out that I didn't care what it was. On one Sunday there, and then my neck was frozen. That has eased. Hop on today. I was laying in the bed. The spirit woke me up at 3:21 in the morning. I thought it was my meditation time, and I did do meditation. But one of the things that in this kind of sneak away area, and it's full of bees because the jasmine. Is it a good night's sleep? Is it fresh water? Is it a great meal? Is it a one? What am I responsible for today? Sometimes, particularly as women, we want to take on the whole world. Well, the whole world has a lot to take on its own. So, what are you responsible for? I was talking to a client a couple of days ago, and there was this sense of needing to try and control everything. off, put them outside on the grass, and said, take one. They've been washed and clean. And people did take them. Hi, Ernessa. So, what can you do? How can you touch someone else's life today? I put incense out every morning. I put it on my front porch, but gradually I start moving it on the side because I'm on a corner property. And a guy ran by today because I've been seeing him for some weeks now. He's a dad. He's got two kids in the stroller. He's jogging with them. He's got the dog behind him. And I was in the living room and I just heard this voice. Thank you for that wonderful fragrance this morning. I didn't know. I just figured it would help the universe, if there were some nice fragrances. Not that the jasmine, the gardenia, and everything else that's blooming around here isn't fragranting everything. But I think for some people, the incense, the nakchampa, really speaks to that spiritual. So those are 5 questions you can ask yourself. If you ask yourself those in the air. And then I am just amazed at what it has done to the sky. Have you looked at our skies that when we're not driving our cars, because California has the most cars, it impacts the sky so quickly. So impacted it that the sky was clear and we could see it and the clouds were fluffy. I'm like, that is powerful to me in connecting the power we have to impact this planet. But what I wanted to ask you today, what are you angry about? If you're angry. If you're angry, and can you simply manage to control or be managing one thing, and that one thing is you? What do you manage for you? For you, for your family, for your peace of mind in the storms over there, like, oh my God, look what's happening. Look what they're doing. Look what they're doing. But who's willing to actually walk into the storm and just quietly be there and let it just swirl all around you? Because that's what's happening. As long as we have the person in charge that we have in charge, things will be swirling because that's what he does. But see, I have a different position on him. I don't get angry with him. I'm not mad at him. I am 1,000 billion% clear he's in office for a reason. And I know everybody hates him except for the how you want to live through this experience. You get to decide. The decide that. The governor doesn't decide that. I mean, before Gavin Newsom said here in California, whatever he said, my son had already pulled out the summer furniture and put the cabana out and the Chase Lounge and stuff. Let's lay outside. So what can you create for you in your life, in your family, or for yourself that gives you some sense of, I guess, peace, and that you can create your new normal and realize that that new normal will continuously change. You can create a new normal this week, and next week it may look different. But if you have these basic pieces, those 5 questions maybe that you ask yourself every morning, no matter what's going on, no matter what the news says, these are the things I'm going to ask myself to keep me on track for what I want to see showing up in my life. Now, we do have some impact on what shows up in the universe through the thoughts that we think, through our behaviors, and through what we send out through our hearts. We do have that. We can impact what's happening on this planet if we choose to. But if you don't, and you just want to focus on you and yours and your family, that is fine too, because that sends a high vibration out into the planet as well. But sitting in front of the TV, doing this all day long, with the TV blasting, listening to the commentator telling you whatever, and then walking away. And here's the thing, if you can walk away from that and you feel good, and you're anchored and connected to God, and you have no fear and no worry, no anger, no disappointment, more power to you. Go right ahead. I don't have to hear it that much because they say the same thing over and over and over and over. But if you can't, then why would you subject yourself to that? And see, for me, a lot of my stuff is political and spiritual. For me, the political piece is that there's 1%ers that are controlling the television. Do your research. See who owns it. I think it's like 3 or 4 families. So those family news, then I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be manipulated by it. So I'll look on another channel, or I'll listen to a radio. I'll go to one of the BBC. I get to decide, how well are you managing you? Your sphere of what you can manage or control if you need to is pretty big. And it's you. So if you're angry, what are you angry about? How long do you let that anger stay in within you? And then if you're not, recognize that we all get to make choices along the way. They're going to open up Atlanta. Reason within them taking the precautionary measures that need to be taken. Because as glamorous as you may look, my darlings, with your hair done, if you're dead, it won't make a difference. So, some of this is requiring that we move back from all of the outer things that we do or think we need to do to look good or whatever, and just accept the true beauty of who we are as we are. I did nails for fun for years. And then I took them off a lot, even though she offered. I thought, I can't do that because if I get sick, my son gets sick, I'll never live that down. I did it for fun. That was all. I don't know, I have to have nails now. And if I don't have them now, I'm going to go the same way for you. What is it that you need for you to maintain your peace? Because your anger won't help you ride this out. And we're in May. I suspect we'll be in this till middle of June. Okay, we need to extend it. After they open up all these states, they're going to have to close them down again. So I'm already looking at us potentially being in this till June. And if you're not, you may want to. So if you forecast for yourself and with your food, with your shopping, with your money, with whatever you have to navigate or whatever you're going to need, it helps you feel like you're more in, I want to say control, but you're managing yourself and your life better and not listening to whatever's going on out there. I'm always shooting past what down, where you're like, oh my God, what am I going to do? What's going to happen? No, stand up straight, put your shoulders back, and know that what impacts you is what's around you. What you surround yourself with, what you say to yourself. Manage what you hear. Manage what you allow yourself to see and experience. And like I said, the last question on there, and I hope I said it, is how can I touch someone else's life? Focus on that. Focus on that. It may be your neighbor next door. It may be just the person across the street. It doesn't have to be someone you know. Part of this is calling us to connect with people we don't know. I have seen more neighbors on my street than I have ever seen in my life. There's more babies on their tricycles rolling down the middle of the street with their dads. I've seen more dads with their kids, dads push them in the strollers, dads with the dogs. It's just amazing what is impacting our families and that unit in such a powerful, strong way. Husband and wives and kids walking together. Really? I've been in this hot property 13 years, have not seen that before like that. So there's some amazing things. Look for the positive things. Look for what you can see shifting and changing, maybe with your life, with your home, with your family, even internally for you. And can you manage you? Because that's what this is about. Each and every one of us being able to manage ourselves, manage our health. That's what this whole crisis is, a health crisis. Manage our money and our finances and our thoughts about it. Manage our relationships with ourselves, manage our relationship with our religion, our spirituality, God, however you define that for yourself. And then live on those 4 pillars of your life. No matter what, live from that, live on that as you go forward. And let those 5 questions be your guide, your steps to how you're going to live your day and what it's going to feel like throughout the day. If you're home like I am, be sure to take breaks. If you can, go outside. My toe was bothering me to the point I couldn't walk. I haven't walked or anything for like 7 days, so I'm antsy. But I looked at it today and there was still just a little bit of purple in there. And I thought, you always go out faster than you need to. Just take another couple of days. Technically, you have a whole 3 more weeks worth of walking since the gym's not open and we're going to be on lockdown. So be gentle with yourself. Be gentle with others. Manage you. That's what this is all about, is how well you will manage you. How well you will manage your thoughts and what you think, what you're choosing to worry about, what you're choosing to be an anxiety about. Manage you. Because I always say this, inhale, exhale. As long as you can do that, you got that breath, you're being taken care of. It has nothing to do with who's in charge. So there's no need to really be mad at him about the things that he's doing. I really believe he's here for a purpose. I really believe no one else what he's pulling off. Everybody else would have been too concerned. But because he doesn't care, he gets to do potentially what it is that God, life, and the universe wants. Because some of what he is saying go. Because we like things to be black and white. Oh, they're so sweet. They went out on the street because of my talking. We like things to be black and white because then we feel like, okay, you either do this or do that. But so much of life is gray. That's the thing. How do you navigate in the gray? How do you manage you in the gray areas of life? And this is like a gray area. In 2019, we felt like we had a simple routine. We knew what to do, and that wasn't gray, we thought. You do this or that. But now it's like, well, do we do this? Do we do that? What do we do? Are we going to do that? Well, part of this is for us to decide for ourselves in our own living, our own homes, what we're going to do and how we're going to do it, and create our new normals. Create your new normal. What does that look like for you? What does that feel like? It's getting hard for us in California to keep track of the days. When I talk to people now, they're like, what today is today? All we know is when the sun comes up, we get up. That's the way I feel now. When the sun starts to go down, we slow down, and by the time it gets dark, I'm going to bed. I think I went to bed last night at 10 o'clock. That's in so many different ways. I want you to look at what's happening. Families are coming together. Families are spending more quality time together. It really annoys me that America had set up such a schedule that we were just working for America. How are we going to nurture our family and spend time with our children? Then we find out the children we do have don't have food, and the schools were providing the food for them. How many of us knew that? We didn't know the healthcare system was so ratchet. I mean, it is beyond ratchet. We don't have a system in place with all the money supposed to be sending us on stimulus packages and put in place to take care of our hospital the equipment that we needed. It's just so ratchet, but we wouldn't have known that. We would have thought, oh, America's still the top dog and we got everything. No, we don't. So there's so much being exposed because of his presidency that we wouldn't have known about. It's not nothing new. What Trump is exposing didn't just happen in the 3 or 4 years he's been in office. To figure this goes back to Obama, goes back to Clinton, goes back to Bush, goes back to Reagan. It's been a ratchet system for a while. So there's some pieces to what this man is revealing we may not like, and we may not like the way he says it and does it, but it's things we needed to know. Now the question is, what are we going to do about it? If the system in place isn't looking out for us and isn't taking care of us and isn't promoting for us to take care of each other, then when do we step up and say, okay, we as the people are going to do something different? And for that, I understand why we are in the experience that we're in right now. For us to open our eyes, for us to not be led around like little sheep saying, okay, whatever the government says, we're going to do it. Oh, there's nothing we can do. But to really understand the power we do have, what we can do, and then make the choices we want to make for ourselves, for our families, and then ultimately for the concept of whatever America was going to be or supposed to be, because it hasn't been that. When you really look at it, America has tons of money that has been running through it, but nowhere in there did they fix the system. So we'd have the health care, we'd have the equipment, we'd have everything we need in a crisis. Ventilators aren't even, we won't even have that conversation. So hold on to your anger. Some of this is trial and error. You get to decide individually what you're going to do. Right now, all I'm going to do is consider getting my hair done tomorrow, and that is it. I can always later, it's fun or not. I don't need to be shopping. There's nowhere for me to go that I need to worry about clothes. I seem to stay in sweatsuits, or as TJ Mercer says, put some pants on. Because one of the gentlemen was doing an interview on one of the news stations, had on a suit jacket, I guess, and a shirt, but he didn't have any. You could see his thigh just a little bit in the camera. None of us are wearing clothes. I mean, life is just so different now, but it can be amazing because you know what? This too shall pass. And then we'll be looking back and say, oh, wow, when I was at home, I should have done this. Or, I wish I had done this when I was off. Watch it. Mark my words. It's going to shift to something new. And we'll be sitting there in a new normal saying, shoot. And you probably won't think about it, but God, I could have cleaned out my closet then. Or I thought about yesterday, how do you have a garage sale? Or I could have got rid of things. Don't let yourself sit back and say, God, what I could have done when I was off if I was paying attention. Anyway, have a great day. I'll be on here tomorrow, the next days. I believe I'm back in my rhythm. I'm looking at setting up a challenge. I started off as a money challenge, but I really want to help people create their wealth plan. I think one of the most important things you can do to come out of this with a plan for how you're going to move forward as it relates to wealth in your life. But I need for you to understand what I mean when I'm talking about wealth. So for now, take good care.